competitive firm, which is typically producing at a pretty efficient point. The point where firms produce is where MC equals MR. And in the case of a perfectly competitive firm, MR also equals AR, average revenue, because revenue is the same for each product, price, which would also be equal to average revenue, and demand, because this is the demand curve coming to this firm from the market. For a firm to be allocatively efficient, they produce where MC equals where marginal cost equals marginal benefit. So an allocatively efficient firm would produce where the marginal cost, whatever the cost the firm has, reaches the marginal benefit to the consumer, which is the amount the consumer is willing to pay. So allocative efficiency, as noted by this little red line, is where MB equals MC. An allocatively efficient firm is going to produce what right here at the same place it would produce given the MC equals MR rule. So a lot of the efficiencies for firms are the same in a perfectly competitive firm. However, to be productively efficient, a firm is going to produce at the minimum of its ATC curve, which will be the place where ATC crosses MC at its minimum. That's productive efficiency, and this goes back to the economies of scale idea. They are not wasting any of their resources. They're not underutilizing anything. They're producing everything at the lowest possible average cost that they can and getting the most out of their workers and their equipment, and that's productively efficient. As you'll notice, productive efficiency is achieved at allocative efficiency and production points when a perfectly competitive firm is at equilibrium. So when you're up here at equilibrium, all of those points are the same, but if not, productive efficiency would be wherever ATC crosses the MC curve. Now let's take a look at what that would look like for another type of business, a monopoly or a monopolistically competitive firm. So a monopolistically competitive firm, let's get our bearings here. You have your demand curve here, and that's given to you from the market because you are only able to sell what consumers will buy at a given price. Then you have your marginal revenue curve below this, and your revenue falls away from demand because you charge a different price to each consumer as you add more and more consumers and continue to drop your price. You have to charge one price unless you're able to price discriminate. Our old friend, the MC curve, is the same as always, and ATC is anywhere along the graph, but it's going to cross MC at its minimum. And what we see here is a monopolistically competitive firm in equilibrium. So to talk about allocatively efficient, our allocatively efficient point is here in red, and it's where MC marginal cost equals marginal benefit, which in this case will be the demand curve. So allocatively efficiency means that you get rid of any deadweight loss, because if you choose to produce where MC equals MR, which is where any monopolistically competitive firm who's profit maximizing would choose to produce, you would go up and find price. But when you do that, you get rid of some efficiency in the market. So if you produce at the allocatively efficient point, if you change your production amounts, someone is going to be worse off or better off. Here, of course, the producer is better off because you're producing where MC equals MR, right here where this crosses. And but here, no one can make any change without someone having a gain and someone else having a loss. That's allocatively efficient. Another type of efficiency would be productive efficiency. That's still producing where ATC is at its minimum. This is where you reach the tipping point from economies of scale. You're producing the most efficient amount that your business can produce at the lowest possible cost, to diseconomies of scale. You've taken on an order that's too large and it's actually inefficient for you to do that. So our green dot here represents productive efficiency, which is at the minimum of our ATC. If you want to learn about this and other types of efficiency, I would recommend the website where I got all this excellent information, and that's down here at the bottom, tutor2u.net. Excellent website, and I highly recommend it. Hope this helps.